So question 8 again, notice how again we have what's called a rational equation because we have the variable in the denominator as well. So notice that again, division by zero is undefined, so the value of x that generates a zero in the denominator must be excluded. So this x minus 1, notice how it appears twice, so we only have to worry about it one time. That x minus 1, what we're asking ourselves is there a value of x that makes that turn into 0? Well, if x equals 1, that's going to turn into a 0. So we have to exclude that solution. So when we solve this equation, if we get 1 as a solution, we have to throw it out. Now again, if you multiply the equation by what's called the least common denominator, you can use that to eliminate fractions in the equation. Well, notice how there's only one denominator, x minus 1. So this is where it gets a little tricky. So what I can do is I can multiply each side by x minus 1. So if I have x minus 1, I'm going to use a bracket here. So I'm going to have this x over x minus 1 plus this 4 on this side. And on this side, I'm going to have 1 over x minus 1. And I'm just going to use parentheses here for multiplication times then x minus 1. So again, this needs to be in parentheses as well. So this whole thing has to go through the parentheses. So doing this, the reason we did this is to eliminate fractions. So notice that when I multiply x minus 1 times the first term, the x minus 1's will cancel. So the only thing that's left here would be just the x. So those cancel out altogether. So I'm not really multiplying anything but 1 through, but 1 times x is just really x. Now, when I multiply x minus 1 times 4, notice nothing cancels. So really, I'm stuck with multiplying 4 times this x minus 1. So I'm going to hold that there for the time being. I'm not going to do that math just yet. Since there wasn't a denominator, the x minus 1 came all the way in and multiplied to the 4. But I'm going to put the 4 out in front. Just looks better for me. Over on this side, notice that the x minus 1s, again, are going to actually cancel out. So all I'm left with is just 1 times 1, or just simply 1. So that makes the problem look a little bit easier. Now, to solve for x, we still got to remove the parentheses here and simplify this side of the equation. So I'm going to have x, and then I have to multiply this 4 through the parentheses. So that's going to be 4x. 4 times that negative 1 is going to be a minus 4. And that's going to equal 1. I still got to combine like terms over here, though. So notice that an x and 4 more x's is 5x. Since I ran out of room, I'm going to bring this over here. So 5x. So 1x plus 4x is 5x. There's still this minus 4 over here. And that's going to equal this 1. So this equation looks a little bit more familiar. So I can solve for x by getting x by itself. So I can add a 4 here to zero that out, and add a 4 over here to balance the equation. So that just leaves me the 5x over here. Those zeroed out. And that's actually 1 plus 4. It looks like a 9, but it's actually a 4. Let me erase that and make that look a little bit better. Let's see here. I hate when it does that. So I actually said add a 4 here, but let's keep it the same color. Add a 4 here. So anyway, 1 and 4 is going to actually give me a 5. So 5 times what value gives me 5? Of course, that would be a 1. Or again, if you want, you can get rid of the 5 by dividing it by 5, because that's going to make a coefficient of a 1. And remember, if the coefficient's 1, we don't show it. So the 5's cancel out, if you will, turn into a 1. But 1x is simply x, and 5 divided by 5 is 1, so 1 is our solution. But notice up here we said we had to exclude 1, and we got 1 as an answer. So since that was the only solution was 1, and we have to exclude it, this turns into what we call a no solution. So there's nothing left. So this equation does not have an answer. Sometimes we use the solution set, which we will put a little 0 with a slash through, which means empty set. So empty set means there weren't any values of x that worked. So This equation did not have any solutions to satisfy the original equation.